God bless you. This is Lorraine, Lololittle, and we're coming back with another edition of Tips for Presidents. But this is a different kind of edition because we're doing a video response. I had an email from, let's call this person Bob, from somewhere in the world, asking for some leadership advice or input. So this is what Bob said. My Holiness always wanted to become more united, but never had ideas. And when I had ideas, they really didn't want to try them. So it's hard to get support. But they still want to do something, but don't want to try. But I really want to work for the Lord, so what do you think? What do you think I should do? You need to determine what kind of youth group your youth group is. Are you working with a group of Jóvenes, mainly younger Jóvenes, like teens, like maybe 12 to 15? Or do you have a group of maybe that mostly everybody's in high school? Or do you have a majority that are finished with high school and working and whatnot? Or do you have a mixture of everything? And that's important to determine first what kind of group you're working with, because you have to plan things accordingly, you know. Something that I think would work really well is you mentioned that they want to become more united, but nobody has any ideas. And something I learned in one of my classes is that sometimes it's difficult to come up with one really good idea. But if you tell a group of people, well, let's come up with 50 ideas, what you do is maybe get your Jóvenes together, call like a meeting, something probably half an hour or whatnot, and get maybe like if you have a chalkboard or a dry erase board, or ask them first of all, what is it that they think their youth group needs more of, and make a note of that. You know, I think. And if you're having a hard time probably getting a response, and nobody's answering, maybe you could be like, okay, I want everybody, we're going to go around and everybody let me know something they think our youth group needs more of. And then you'll probably get some people's feedback and whatnot. And then after that, you could be like, okay, well, we want to get more united. Let's come up with things that we could do to get more united. And have everybody just take down ideas, you know, and the big board. Okay, let's come up with 50 ideas of things we could do to get more united. And the rule is that nobody could make fun of nobody's idea. Nobody could shut down any idea, even if it sounds crazy. You just want 50 ideas, doesn't matter what. And you just write down everybody. And eventually, people probably might start playing around or, you know, throwing out their crazy ideas. But among those 50, you might have a few that are really good ideas to implement. And it's just basically to get their feedback, what kind of stuff they want to do. So basically that's an idea to probably how to get things going, for them to participate actively and see what their youth group needs. Ideas that to throw out there, apart if you want specific ideas to get them more united, is something called a game night. And this is something social where everybody brings a board game. And you get together at somebody's house or at church if you guys have like a place you guys could hang in. That night you guys play board games. But a game night is also always works well to bring everybody get together. If we're looking for things more spiritual and whatnot, have a Bible study. Those are really good, but not like a usual Bible study. Maybe you could assign a book of the Bible to read at that month, and at the end of the month you get together in an atmosphere where you put all the tables together and you create like a square or a circle, and nobody's really leading the Bible study. Basically the way it works is, I was reading this passage in the book of Ecclesiastes, and I really like this verse, and I like this verse because, and that's how it is. Nobody's really leading it. Everybody's just giving their input of what they liked about the book, what do they think, and then everybody just kind of starts feeding back and forth off of that. It just kind of depends on the kind of group that you're working with. So if it's hard to get your Jóvenes together in a meeting per se, just draw up a little formulario, like a survey of sorts, and and just, what has been your favorite activities, what kind of activities do you think we should do, what sort of things we should do, pass it out in the beginning of Sunday school and pick it up at the end, and just a survey of what kind of things they want to see done, and they'll tell you what kind of things they want going on, and then you pray about it and see which ideas would be better to tackle and whatnot. Something that brings the Jóvenes together also is a retreat. It's about getting closer to God And also, it could also serve as getting the youth together on activities. And once again, it depends on the age group that you're working on. If you have older adult jóvenes, young adult jóvenes, some of them work and whatnot, and so you're gonna have to coordinate around those schedules. But basically, sometimes the way it works is just asking and seeing what's out there. So I recommend either having a meeting where you guys just brainstorm random ideas, doesn't matter what, or if there's no time for meeting, really simple, go on Word, type up a survey. If anybody's interested in a sample survey that they could pass out to their jóvenes, just email me at lololittleonline@gmail.com, and I will attach that Word document and send it to you. I have one. I believe I have one. So just pass out a survey and get people's feedback and see what the jóvenes want going on. What do they feel that they need more of? And most of the time, people aren't sincere. Maybe you could do both, the meeting and the survey, because maybe lo que no se atreven a hablar out loud will be less shy on paper. I think those are a few ideas that I think would work. And always prayer. As a leader, praying should be number one. Sometimes we want certain things to happen in our youth, and we could do whatever, podemos hacer 100,000 cosas, but if we don't take the time and pray for the youth and pray for God to bring that unity, then it's, si Dios no edifica la casa, en vano trabajan los edificadores. It says in the libro de los Salmos. So if you don't pray, if God's not in it and you're just working on your own, you're working in vain. So remember to keep everything in prayer with your youth. And basically, if anybody has any more questions, anything we could bring up, any other topics, feel free to email me. Once again, at lololittleonline@gmail.com, like the address should come up or whatever. And I believe that, as leaders, sometimes it could be we don't really have another leader to be like, exchange ideas. And I think that's something really important. And if this could serve as a tool for leaders to exchange ideas and to present situations, and we could deal with them and pray about them together, I think that this could be great for the youth and for us as leaders. And remember, if you're gonna plan any of these ideas, try not to do them short notice. Announce people, let them know with time so they can clear their schedule. You just can't. Sometimes you could tell them, hey, let's go do this, and they'll do it sporadically. But sometimes those last minute things don't work well with everybody. Like I said, it depends on your youth group. It depends on the kind of group you have. So hopefully this was a help for you, Bob. And let me know if anybody has any other questions. I'll pray about it. I'll put as much thought. And if I can't answer the question, I'll ask other people's input to help me out. Anything that I can do to benefit the youth and youth leaders and leaders out there, I think it's important to do. So basically, this is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this, found it useful. Let me know your feedback. And God bless you, and see you guys next time. Bye. And one more thing. Where there's a will, there's always a way. So if you really want to work hard for God and work towards the benefit of the youth and really do your job that God called you to do, I say give it your all. Find, si no se hace, una puerta se cierra, siempre hay otra que se abre. And especially if you're praying, God will open the right doors. Y recuerden, when you want to bring the youth together, al enemigo no le gusta eso. So he will levantarse y se puede levantar contra la juventud, puede poner situaciones entre los mismos jóvenes para tratar de prevenir que esa unidad pase. Y lo que yo creo que debemos de hacer como líderes, siempre be aware of what's going on, what kind of situations. Y if you can help the jóvenes deal with it, acérquense a su pastor, algún adulto líder de confianza que pueda ayudar a resolver esas situaciones. Y yo creo que las situaciones se deben de resolver lo más rápido posible para prevenir any harm to the youth and to the youth group and to the unity of the youth itself.